long as he has already. Because, have you made your peace being here in Mexico?
That was recent. Like, I would say that was like maybe within the year that I met you guys.
So
I
you-
saw a better
so-
future.
So like in 2017, 2018?
Yeah.
You made your peace?
Mid 2017. Um, took a while. You know, you think about it, and time does fly. You get caught up in a lot of moments. It took 7 years for me to come to terms and to like realize that I'm going to be here for a while, and most likely I'm not going to make it back. I'm not going to make it back. I don't have that privilege. You know, I don't have that advantage. So it's difficult to make that peace because when you think about it like that, it's depressing.
Yeah.
But I mean, we met, you know, during the transition, you know, from taking everything a negative to a positive, and that actually helped me come to terms and come to peace of mind that, you know, you're here, this is where you're going to be at. And I said, till today, I've never met anybody that's been able to go back successfully legally. So my main goal now is to work on here. So I guess my biggest complaint from being in the States is that they call it, you know,
You said your biggest complaint?
yeah, like, well, I wouldn't say, how can I?
Regret? Or your biggest,
So I guess my thoughts, like, from the States was like, I guess that's where, like, it's America, you know, it's the land of free, you know, you make your dreams come true. You know, and you get a bad perspective when you live in the States. You get a very bad perspective of Mexico.
yeah.
So when we made this transition, I mean, during those you know few years, you know, you do see the beginning years. You do see the scarcity. You know, coming in a rancho, living in a small town and shit like that. You see it, but then you get to a city and you see something completely different. So we're in DF and it's different, but we get to Querétaro and it's a completely different lifestyle.
I mean, I think, I see what you're saying now. I think even when I was in Mexico City, it was like nothing like what you usually hear over there. I mean, yeah, a lot of shit does happen. You know what I mean? But it's not the same shit that you hear nonstop over there. Cause I remember like any little thing happened, or any little thing would happen, and my people's over there, like my family, a lot of my friends would still text. Even to this day, like anything happens, I still get a message like, "Hey, you okay?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Wow, yeah, I'm good. What's up?" And like, "Oh, it's because we seen this on the news and this happened, and I tantos muertos." And then
Yeah.
I'm like, "Where?" And they tell me, I'm like, "Oh, I'm nowhere." Nah,
I'm cool, man.
Mexico's big, dude. We're not there.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. But I mean, you think that you can only live your dream in America.
Yeah,
You know, like, so to me, I had to like kind of like beat on me that you know, you don't have documents over there, bro. If you go back, you're not gonna have documents. Here, you're in your country, bro. What's stopping you from doing what you want, from what you dream in your country? I mean, over there, you had something that was stopping you. You couldn't get a social security number. You couldn't become a legal resident because when I turned 18, that's when 9/11 happened.
no shit.
Yeah. So I was fucked. I wasn't gonna get legal status.
Yeah, that shit fucked up a lot of shit for a lot of people.
9/11, like really was a turn point for my possibilities because since I grew up in the legal system as a teenager, I had an opportunity to be able to get legal status. So 9/11 happened, and that just basically turned out. And I turned 18 at 9/11. That's when I had turned 18. So, I never really had a chance to live a dream. You know, what they always like say, you know, the American dream, what, fucking picket fence, this shit, walk out, hey neighbor, fucking come, you know, pick up your fucking newspaper. So I thought, you know, like, well, you know, like, what's really stopping me from doing that here? You know, like, I'm legal. They can't tell me that, you know, I can't buy property. Fuck the Mexican, goddammit. So it took 7 years to come with the terms, with the peace. That, you know, I think as a man, you need that peace of mind to know where you're going, you know?
Yeah.
To understand where you're like, I need to be here, can I get here? And you come with realities, you know, you come with terms and you're like, okay, well, maybe I can't be here, but I can be here. Yeah, and I don't think anybody wants to live a fucked up life, man. You know, I don't think people come out here and say like, no la hice allá y no la estoy haciendo acá. I don't think people have that intention, you know?
I think they don't have that intention, but I think it just depends on your mentality. I think it just, either you have, like, the way I see it, either you have a weak mentality, or you have a strong mentality.
That's true, because, I mean, we're three different points of views, you know, from an experience that we had, and there's a lot of other points of views. You know, you have the people that have been deported, that are not here with us, that have been, you know, murdered or got into other shit, and you know, they got murdered, you know.
And then even that has two sides to it. There's people that were deportees and got into shit that you had no business getting into.
Yeah.
And that happened. And then you have the people that wrong place, wrong time, or because you thrown across the bridge in those wrong sections where you know who's waiting for people, and they see like, oh look, another motherfucker,
Yeah.
fresh off the banana boat type shit, you know what I mean? Véngase pa' acá, boom, lo vamos a llevar a trabajar. No ands, ifs, or buts, I mean, like, boom.
Since I've been here, I honestly, like, as far
Have
as
you made your peace?
I've made my peace. As far as, well, different aspects, in many different ways. I've made peace with my family. I didn't always get along so good with my dad, you know. But like you said a little while ago, I mean, as well, there's always two sides to the story. You know, I've always had just one side of the story, right? Until I was down here, basically in his shoes. You know, so I got to basically look at it through his eyes, man, and things weren't always so easy as I thought they were, you know? And I got to realize that shit through my own eyes. And because of that, you know, I actually got to make peace with my pops. It took me a while. It took me close to 3 years. But I came to peace with that. I came to peace as well, somewhat what Kush was saying, you know, came to the conclusion that, hey, I'm gonna be here for a while. I'm not going nowhere, and to be honest, I've gone to know here that basically the English opens up a lot of doors, man. It opens up a lot of doors, and to be honest, I'm not thankful I got deported, but I'm thankful that I know English here in this country after being deported, you know. Because sometimes I picture myself and it's like, damn, what if I would have got deported not knowing English? You know, like, yeah, I got taken over there at a young age, and yeah, I'm from here, but still, again, coming to a country you don't know, not having that education, if you want to say, in paper from here, you know, there's a lot of doors that would have still been closed, would have never opened.
I got my elementary and my primaria secundaria.
I got my elementary here.
I never did the rest of it to get it transferred over.
Yeah, and that's what I still gotta do, but shit, I mean,
That ain't gonna work, bro.
Most of the, but I mean, most of the time, I mean, how I apply for English speaking jobs and shit like that, I mean, just with my high school diploma, most of the time, that's all they basically require. I haven't had anybody tell me, oh, well, you gotta go and convert it. You know, not
I
yet,
just did it out of
not yet,
I don't
so far.
Legally, I got my primaria here. I got that when I was 30.
I was around there when I got my money.
I was 30 years
No.
old when I
No,
finished
I
elementary.
I was still, it was during that short span of period of time, when I was still living in Toluca.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what the fuck, you know what I mean, like, where the fuck I was gonna apply, and if it was needed, like, my uncle's like, well, you got your high school shit over there, no, I was like, well, I got the GED, but it's the same shit, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
He said, well, get that shit here, and he said, but they were like, my tíos were necios that they wanted me to go to college here.
Yeah.
Que sacara mi licenciatura de lenguas, at least English, I mean, if anything I could teach. I was like, look, honestly, the way I look, ain't no school won't hire me. Let's be real.
Yeah, that guy fucks this dude.
And I didn't even have this
Boy,
shit.
angry.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Boy, angry.
But still, it's like, and then we got to the point where I was like, man, I don't care about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of like one of the first things that they try to throw you. Like, they try to throw you like, why don't you just teach English?
No.
They would throw that at me a lot. Just teach
Like,
English.
first I gotta learn Spanish to teach you English. Motherfucker.
How about you, one night? Have you come with your piece? Have you
Have
come
I
to
made my
terms?
piece?
Have you made your piece?
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've been knowing I wasn't gonna go back for a long time. You know what I mean?
But I mean,
But I hadn't made my peace. And when I say I hadn't made my peace with it, is because, like I said, you know, like I was in the loss and the booze a lot. You know what I mean? Y'all know.
yeah.
Y'all know. I was down.
I know.
But like I was able to realize that shit was affecting me a lot. I mean, there's multiple factors to it. There's a lot of things that were contributing to it, and those were some of the things that weren't allowing me to make my peace and move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it took a long time. It took a long time, but I think the starting point that really got me over the edge, and I was able to recognize it, and I think that was like when I made like the first couple of steps into making my peace was when cuando I recognized que me pasé de verga, I pieced up a valet dude at the bar. Like, yeah, he was being a dick, so he deserved that shit, motherfucker.
Tell me
But
Somebody-
yeah.
take myself to
You guys said the spot, man.
Yeah.
we saying that nigga's name.
No, I don't know, man. But you deserve it, because me decías, puto.
Oh, we just
And you know,
gonna
that's just getting edited
say
out.
that
The name.
You.
The name of the spot.
Who
But-
fucking that shit out?
But I'm able to recognize que también yo también me pasé de verga. And like, you know, like most of the time, when we all went out and we were all fucking white girl wasted, I was pretty chill about everything. I was the one handling the money type shit, you know? And then, like, we knew everything was cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, it was very rare for me to lose my cool like that, you know what I mean? And then, like, that happened, and then the time that me and Shorty here got in a fight, coming or we left the titty bar because we were fighting, because me and him were arguing. And gay ass Marcos. And he left us and shit. I mean, there were specific reasons, but still, like, for us to get that carried away, I know it was affecting me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I started to recognize that I was just, like, me estaba valiendo verga muchas cosas, you know what I mean? The more I got lost.
You're
and
going
the more
back
I
to your
was-
lifestyle. Kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You're going back to how.
How I was in the States.
Yeah.
And like, you can't be like that here, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because regardless, no matter how comfortable you are here, we're not from here. We're, no matter how you see it, no matter how much peace we have, and how much you learn and you know the terrain,
There's always people around there gonna remind us.
and yeah, we're never gonna be in our home turf, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what we get into education center.
And
Yeah.
that's
That's
actually,
what talking
that's
about.
actually gonna be like a whole nother episode, cause that's
But like,
one
but like,
episode in itself.
I pushed. I mean, look, well, the last time I got in a fight was like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, no, 3 years ago, defending somebody else. So I was cool.
We're still at CMU, man.
Yeah, I was still in Sierra Leone. But like now, like still, you know, I can say like I've been evolving, and I've been able to recognize that my piece is different from your piece, different from your piece. But I can honestly say now that I've made my peace that I'm not going back to the States. And if I was ever to go back to or to travel, to move somewhere else, I'm probably going like Europe. I mean, I'm probably gonna go that way. Like, I've realized, and I told other people before, like, bro, the U.S., that's just one of the places. That's just an option, bro. It's not, like, you don't have to, like, just shoot from there. There's other places that you can go and you can do better. You know what I mean?
So it is a different piece, and like now that you talk about it, I would like to ask, you know, usually, I mean, if you had the opportunity to go back legitimately, would you?
Legitimately, like if they were like, here, use your papers, go back, yeah, of course, because I got my family over.
Yeah.
But as far as me fighting, and I mean fighting as like, fighting for me to go back over there, see the mojadito, no, bro, it's not worth it for me. It's not worth it for me, is it? Look, man, I was in a sit-in jail and fight all these 10 years. I still would have been in that motherfucker. But still, it would have been me seeing my daughter behind the glass, bro, and to me, it's not worth it. At least, look, here, since I've gotten deported, shit, I've been able to hug her and kiss her for fucking every 6 months, you know?
Yeah.
Compared to being in there and just seeing her behind the glass, fuck no.
Seeing her girl walk through a glass.
Fuck no, bro.
You weren't.
I mean, yeah, I got taken away from my family, but inside, man, I'm at peace with that shit. Cause I feel it better that way than the other one.
Yeah. And I mean, you actually have something, you know, like, to me, like, personally, I don't, you know, I don't. I mean, I have a son, you know, but I really don't. If I had the opportunity to go back, I would take a visitor's visa. I wouldn't take anything other than it.
I would take
I
that.
really would, because I have no interest of wanting to go back and stay there and
Honestly,
try to make a
I
life.
would be there like a week. Not stay longer. No.
Well, for me, I would only take a visitor because my only interest is my kid, you know, he's my only interest.
But like, bro, like, honestly, like, I know you understand that, you do too, but I grew up in the system too, you know?
Yeah.
And then, I remember, bro, walking and with the police rolling up on you just for no reason. And then when I was a fuck up, and then the police, like, bro, when the police know you by name,
Yeah.
oh, hell no. Just to go back to that shit, and I even stand out even more than what I used to. You want me to go back to that? Here, I could walk anywhere, and like,
Yeah, that's
bro, here, like, it's one of the things that I've got, like, I've had to like explain to my mom, because my mom does tell me to go back. Yeah, but like, I tell her, like, I'm enjoying my freedom. Like something I wasn't able to enjoy over there, like when I turned 18, when I turned 21, like, freedom. I mean, like, not knowing that you're not bound or restrained by a piece of paper.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, no, here is freedom. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
You're in your country, bro. You're in your
I'm
country.
in my country. And the way I see it, I'm back in my motherland, bro. Like, I feel good. Like, you know, especially like now that I can say that I've come to that peace, I'm good, bro, because it's just, I know there's so many possibilities and opportunities and shit that I haven't been able to, that I wouldn't have been able to do legally over there that I've done here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, bro, I got the credit here. I mean, that's nothing to like really brag about. But like,
Actually
bro,
voted.
but bro, when you're from the hood, when you're from the hood, and like, you know your parents fuck up your credit, like by getting fucking the cable under your name or
Yeah.
the dish under your name, and they fuck that up. So then you gotta switch to somebody else's. You know what I mean? Like here, like, bruh,
I got everything
I
underneath
got
my name.
everything on my name. I got 2 credit cards, nigga. Like, what the fuck was that? Was you doing that shit in the States?
Yep.
I was legal and I wasn't doing it because I was fucking doing some other shit. Or all cash. And
I barely got a fucking debit card.
Yeah,
That's
man.
because Bank of America wasn't being a dick.
Bro, I never had that shit. It was all cash.
I remember the government started pressuring Bank of America over that shit. Because they were allowing illegal documents to open up bank accounts. And they were like, we're a bank, bro, we're not. What the fuck?
But bro, I've been able to go get my license, renew my license. Like, bro, in the States I only had my license once. And then from there it was just all
I got
bad.
my forklift license. I got my forklift. Does this count, Oscar?
Awesome.
I used to sign those.
Hey, it's a license. It's a license.
That was instructor.
I never had none of that.
So I mean, hopefully, like I guess our main goal is to try to give you guys like a different point of view. Like, there's a lot of people that do interviews, and I did an interview for a magazine once when I first got deported. When I was working at the where the lady took me from that restaurant to work at the other restaurant. There I met this girl. She was a journalist for a magazine, and I actually did an interview. At that time, my mindset was completely different. I still hadn't come to peace. I wish I still had that article.
Would be cool.
But like our main
Pretty
goal
sure
is like
find it, no, if you try to.
our maybe I don't know.
If we find it, we're gonna link it.
Yeah, maybe we can link it, maybe she'll look, and maybe she'll be like, hey, I remember Oscar, yeah. So, I know that the interviews are like mainly like, they're mainly like towards, your reaction of how you're, but nobody really talks about, you don't really get like a point of view from somebody that's really been there and really been through it, and everybody's different, everybody reacts different.
And a lot of times, like, one of the things that you hear the most is the bad shit.
Yeah.
Because that's the narrative they want to feed you. You know what I mean? Because not everything in the media, not everything that's being put out there through the media is good for you. You know what I mean? Like, or is positive. You know what I mean? Because usually, a lot of times positive doesn't sell. The good shit, the shock, everything for shock value is what draws attention, is what sells. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
I guess mainly it's like, if you were, started off, like us, where we had no clue what the hell we were doing, you can find peace here.
you can do something with your life.
You can do something here with your life. You're not stuck. You're not subject to what you were in the States. You have an actual opportunity to make something of yourself. This is, if you were a felon or if you've done time, take advantage of this, because this is a second chance. This is your second life. If you ever really wanted that, you could do that here. And even if you were not involved in that type of life, and you come here to Mexico, and you're thinking, how am I going to make it? Like, everything that I have is over there, everything that I had is over there. Hopefully that this channel can help you realize that it's not everything.
We're not 0 to 100 no more. We still about 0 to 70. 5?
You can make the change. You can make the adjustment.
You gotta be willing.
Yeah, that's it.
Because we can preach, we can give you all the information, we could provide all the fucking guidance in the world, but like, if you're not willing to listen, if you're not willing to make that change for yourself, and take the first steps,
It's gonna be very difficult.
it's, yeah.
Your stay here, your adaptation to this type of life, it's going to be incredibly difficult.
You know, like I had a homie that was blessed with the hands, you know what I mean? Fucking tattooing and shit. Couldn't leave a life on it. I offered to fucking back him. You know, be a invest in him for him to, you know, get his shop going and shit. Couldn't leave the life. Another nigga dead, you know?
Yeah, that homies as well, you know, passed away. I know of people that I worked with even in call centers that you know make bad choices or they can't get adjusted to this life, and you know they make bad choices, and you don't have to go through that. You don't have to risk that. You know,
There's other ways.
hopefully, you know, we can provide, you know, that encouragement, and hopefully we can provide you guys with enough stories, enough successful stories, to understand that whatever dream that you had over there, you can make it happen in your own country.
And we're saying success stories, not as remember, being successful doesn't mean that you got money, that you're balling, that you're, you know, a movie star or whatnot, or celebrity. No, being successful means that you're moving on with life and you're doing your thing, and you're living life.
What's your goal in life? Because it's like I said, I mean, in the States, I personally, we don't have something to aspire to. I mean, when well, for people like us, I started in the criminal lifestyle young, and we got institutionalized young. When you're young, you are told this is your life from here on out.
See you
So-
again, Mr. Sandberg.
Personally,
Edit that out.
you know, you go from thinking that your whole life is going in and out of prison to now you're actually free. You're truly free. 100% free.
And one of the things that I want to also like throw out there is like one thing that I understand is that, like, you know, the call center life, it's not for everybody. I get that.
Yeah.
But I personally would like to reach a point where I know there's a lot of motherfuckers out there that are like Shorty. You know what I mean? Shorty is one of the people that kind of leans towards, you know, physical labor more. I'm pretty sure that if he was able to find a job that pays what he gets paid now, and it was more physical, I'm pretty sure he'll jump on
I
it.
will go. Yeah,
Because he got Mighty Mouse in his fucking jeans and shit, you know what I mean?
stay active.
Yeah. So hopefully, like we can provide.
No, but not to cut you off, but like what I'm trying to get at is I want to meet more people out there, because I know there's more people out there that are like us, but they're not based in like call centers and shit like that. No, because they got like other.
They got different experiences.
Yeah.
No,
They're
they
They're in
got.
other fields.
They're in other fields, exactly. And those people can help us
You know, with their
provide more coverage. And be like, hey, like, you know what, like, I can't hire him, but guess what? Bam, over here. Bam. You know, he's not gonna be balling, but he's set. You know what I mean? We're gonna take care of him right here. Shit like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is like the first episode. We're starting out, but it's gonna become a weekly thing. We're gonna have the links in you know, in the bio, email, whatever the fuck, you know, get up, you know, you need to reach out to us. We're gonna be providing more information also, you know, like there's a lot of stories out there, you know, good, bad. Of course, you know, all we wanna do is just cover the good. Of course, also inform you of the bad, because information is key. Knowledge is key. Knowledge is strength. And you know, strength is in numbers, and the more of us that there are that are strong-minded, that can provide for others, there's strength in numbers, and united we stand. You know, like, I know shit sounds corny and shit, but I'm a firm believer in that shit.
And more, I mean, the better that we can help each other out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Definitely.
Chingado, ya estamos. Nah, no sé. Nah, but yeah, man, to help each other out on that, yeah, like you said, in different fields. We can't get, you know, someone a job, you know, in one
we hope to be able to provide you guys, if we can't help out somebody, you know, with a job, at least, you know, some psychological help, and, I mean, we don't have psychologists, you know, but I think that
They
we,
come and holler.
if yeah, you're a psychologist, you
You
would
gotta be bilingual though. Gotta be bilingual.
You should really help us out. But I mean, I believe that we have enough, you know, mental experience, and we've been through that stress to be able to you know, to relate to some of them and help them out. And mainly don't feel like, we hope that nobody feels alone with these
Definitely,
podcasts.
don't feel alone.
Don't feel alone, because that feeling can eat you up. That feeling can really eat you up and
Eat you up and lead you to do something that,
Crazy thing.
yeah, lead you on the wrong path.
yeah.
And also, like I was saying earlier, you know, we're not in the home turf. You know, we're not in a place where you do something wrong and you get locked up and shit. Like, shit ain't like over there. You know what I mean? Like, if you're really not about that lifestyle and this and that. Like, the shit over here isn't like over there.
It's not, first of all. So I mean, even if you grow up like in the criminal world in the States, you know who your enemy is. And you get to Mexico, you don't know who your enemy is. It could be the guy at the papeleria, it could be the carnicero, it could be the mechanic,
It could be the police.
it could be one of your tios, it could be one of your primos.
Remember the taquero selling you taco dogs?
You don't really know,
Dog taco.
you know, who can set you up or who would set you up. So, we hope, you know, that for the people that are not deported and you know, that are curious to know, like, you know, how do these people adapt? We hope that, you know, with these interviews, you know, you guys get a feel, you know, of, you know, the struggle that somebody actually goes through, how hard it is to actually be away from one's family. I think that's heavily underrated. And yeah, you have news, you know, you come out with news and, you know, oh, the US, they separate families and this and that. But when do they really, like, actually, like, you know, get into depth of that? It's just the news, you know, it's just the news. Nobody really understands how it affects not just the person that is being deported. You know, and in fact, I mean, if you guys have family that are willing to talk and see how they got affected when you guys got deported. You know, because it affects everybody.
That it does.
It affects everybody.
And this is just for like, well, I mean us because we're in Mexico and shit, but like we're gonna have some other videos coming out with like one of my homeboys that got deported to El Salvador, and he's like, fuck that, I ain't staying here, I'm out, and he's in Milan now. I mean, then
Hopefully we can get more people like that.
then I got a homeboy that got deported to El Salvador, he's still there, but with all that shit going on right now with the
War,
with the president and the maras and shit,
war on gangs.
and he tatted, and he's like staying home, inside.
Imagine that, you know, you're out of prison, but you're in prison
Yeah.
in your own home country. That's
So we gonna talk to him too, because I know that, I mean, the whole deportation aftermath and like how it devastates everybody and just, you know, the success stories, the good and the bad, they're not just Mexican, you know, like everybody is in that, you know what I mean, like the U.S., you know, they deport anybody, bro. Like, keep fucking around, you gonna learn.
Plus, I mean, when you hear about the deportee stories in the news, they usually get the people on the border. And a lot of them, you know, they didn't live in the States for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
They're like 2-3 years, so they don't really like,
So their family wasn't torn apart.
and they weren't,
They didn't go through that stuff.
they didn't get soaked in the culture, they didn't get soaked in the environment, they didn't get soaked in the lifestyle and the way of thinking.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to be dragged out of there. So, you know, we hope to give you guys a way more in-depth, you know, eye view of what's it really like.
And we're gonna be mobile. We're gonna be jumping around. There's gonna be a lot of other people that are further out where there's, you know, Zoom calls and
Not yet.
Not yet. Unless y'all pay.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. Nah, but like,
We'll get some donations.
we gonna link that in the bio. But nah, but like, just one of the things that, we're trying to like really push out there is that,
Could you guys
that it's not the end.
Like,
Getting supported isn't the end.
no, it's not. And you're not stuck with working with your deal, you're not stuck working at a call center if it's not for you. So we hope to be able to get people with different experiences in different fields, and maybe, and if you guys need some education, there's always free education out there. We can guide you guys to get that good job. The main point is we hope that, like for the people that are like us, that are barely getting here, or that have been here and see no way out, or feel no way out.
Or even if you know you're on your way here,
Yeah.
and we can get our voice to you, and you can, just so you know that it's not the end.
You're gonna be alright.
Brother, sister, whoever, if you hear this and you know you're coming, unfortunately, and it's not what you want, but hey, but where there's a will, there's a way. And if any of you know people like that, I mean, reach out to us. We'll do what we can. And just all we can say right now is stay strong. Shorty?
Same thing, man. We'll be here. Stay tuned.
See y'all next
Next
week.
week.
Yes, sir.